What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. I am still wearing my Colts shit, even though this video has nothing to do with the Colts, but I'm a Colts fan, so I really don't have a choice in the matter right now, but that's besides the point. Power's here, and today we're doing the much anticipated by absolutely nobody, my wild card round prediction. So if y'all don't know how I do playoff predictions, just go back to last year when I made my prediction videos. I did it week by week. I didn't do it all at once. I do it week by week so I can pick the games as they're happening. So my predictions are a little bit more accurate. So today we're just going to do wild card weekend. The next week will be divisional round weekend. Then it'll be the conference championship. And then 2 weeks after that will be the Super Bowl picks. So just to clear that up in case you're new, that's how I do it. But we're going to get started. We're going to start with the AFC because that's the conference I go for because I'm a Colts fan. So I'll always go AFC. So the first matchup in the AFC is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. And this game might be one of the worst of Wild Card Weekend. I don't see it being very competitive because the Dolphins are starting Skylar Thompson, and I don't think that's going to end too well for them. And they're going into Buffalo to play the Bills, and the Bills are good, so we're going to really see how that turns out. But if the Dolphins had Tua, I would still take the Bills, but I would think it'd be a lot closer, like a 7 or 10 point game. But since Tua isn't going to play, it's going to be Josh Allen versus Skylar Thompson. Give me the Bills by a million, and there's really no need to explain that. I mean, the Bills are just overall the better team. The next game we're going to talk about in the AFC is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens, an AFC North showdown. And I may or may not be going to this game and may or may not be vlogging it, so stay tuned to see if I do that. Maybe, hypothetically speaking. But this game will be taking place in Cincinnati. We didn't have to worry about any coin flip scenario because the Bengals beat them Week 18. But we got a similar situation to the Dolphins and Bills game. The Ravens will be without Lamar Jackson. Once again, it'll be Tyler Huntley making the start. And if Lamar Jackson was playing and he was going to be fully healthy, this game would have been a toss-up. But the fact that the Bengals are going to be pretty much fully healthy and the Ravens are banged up, I don't see any world where the Bengals lose this game. I still think it's going to be close, though, because it's AFC North football. Usually those games are pretty close. The Ravens' defense is pretty good, but their offense is going to hold them back. I think that the Bengals win. I think the Ravens keep it close, so I'll say the Bengals pull away late. I'm going to say the Bengals win by about 10. That would be my prediction. And then the final game in the AFC, which will probably be the best one in the AFC of Wildcard Weekend, it's going to be the LA Chargers going to Jacksonville to take on the AFC South champs, Jacksonville Jaguars, which we all predicted at the beginning of the season. And I expect this game to be really close, but it's probably going to be the best. It could be one of the best games of Wild Card Weekend. We got Justin Herbert versus Trevor Lawrence. Last time these two played was the regular season. The Jags blew them out 38-10. It's not going to be a blowout this time around. I think it's going to be very close, very competitive. It's both quarterbacks' first taste of playoff football, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But the Jags are hot at the right time. They've won like 5 or 6 straight games, and the Chargers, they're sputtering a little bit. They lost to the Broncos in the final week of the season while playing their starters, so that's a little bit of an issue for them. The Jags remind me a lot of the Bengals from last year. They got hot going into the playoffs. They won their division at the very end of the year. And I could see the Jags being one of those teams that no one expects to make it, but they could. The Jags are going to be my sleeper team this year. I think the Jags could make an unexpected run that a lot of people don't expect to see. With that being said, I will be taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to defeat the LA Chargers and move on to the divisional round. So that'll be, I would have the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars in the divisional round, and then in the other divisional game would be the Bills taking on the Bengals. I forgot to mention that the Chiefs had the 1 seed and that they're the bye. They have the bye, so yeah. Jags would be playing the Chiefs, and the Bengals would be playing the Bills if my predictions come true. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the NFC side of things now, and we're going to start off in the NFC with the 49ers led by Brock Purdy taking on the Seattle Seahawks led by Geno Smith in San Francisco. And It's the third time around. The Niners swept the season series. If I'm not, yeah, they did. The Niners swept the season series, and they do say that it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. And a lot of people are taking the Niners here. A lot of people believe in the Niners, but it's just hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. So I'm gonna go with a hot take here. I want to be a little spicy. I got to take one that a lot of people aren't going to expect me to take. I'm going to say that the Seahawks upset the 49ers and move on to take on the 1-seeded Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round. Yeah, I know some of you probably just clicked off this video, but just hear me out. Like, neither of these quarterbacks have playoff experience. The Niners are just the overall better team, but I don't know. My gut is telling me Seahawks because the Niners swept the season series, and this is the third time they played. It's the third time they played. And a lot of times in the playoffs, when a team gets swept in the season series in their division, they'll beat them in the playoffs. It happened 2 years ago with Tampa Bay. They got swept by the Saints, but beat them in the playoffs. And it happened to the 2007 Giants. They got swept by the Cowboys, but beat them in the NFC Championship game. And that is literally my reasoning. And I just wanted to pick an upset. So I say the Seahawks defeat the 49ers, and that is my upset pick of the weekend. So, yeah. You can call me crazy all you want, but I don't know. I just got a gut feeling telling me Seahawks. But we're going to move on now to another game. It's the 3-seeded Minnesota Vikings taking on the 6-seeded New York Giants. The Vikings have had a very interesting season. They are 11-0 in games decided by one possession. And it's crazy that if every one of those games had gone the other way, they'd be one of the worst teams in the league. But they are one of the best teams in the league. And the Giants, I don't know about them. I believe in Danny Dimes for sure, but it's his first taste of playoff football. Kirk Cousins has been here before. He knows what he's doing. He's got a good wide receiving core to throw to in Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and TJ Hawkinson. But I don't know. If this game's played at 1 p.m., Giants are going to get blown out by the Vikings. That's just what I'm convinced. But I don't know if it's prime time. It could go very badly for the Vikings, but the Vikings did beat the Giants in the regular season. The Vikings did play the Giants at home, just like how this game is occurring. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, but I just can't go against the Vikings right here. I think the Vikings, they just find ways to win. The Giants, I'm not sold on them. Like, they are good because of their head coach, and I don't see that translating well to the playoffs. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to move on to the divisional round. And in my predictions, they'll be hosting a home game in the divisional round because I have the Niners losing. And we've come down to the final wild card game of the weekend. It's actually going to be on Monday night. I'll be watching the Manning cast because I don't see this being a good game at all. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys going to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, who won the NFC South somehow at 8-9. I think this is the first losing season of Tom Brady's career, and he still made the playoffs. And a lot of people are dick riding Tom Brady and just saying that the Buccaneers are going to beat them because it's Tom Brady. The Buccaneers are going to win easily because the Cowboys can't play in the playoffs. Listen here. The Buccaneers are horrible. They are not a good team. The only reason they made it to the playoffs is because they're in a really bad division. Like, if you put them in any other division, they don't make the playoffs. And it's as simple as that. They are terrible. They are not a good team. Tom Brady's age is kind of starting to show a little bit, if I'm being honest. And knowing how Tom Brady is, this will all come back to bite me, but I don't care. I'm riding high with the Cowboys. I believe in them because the Cowboys have a perfect playoff team. They have a great defense, and they run the ball. That's the two things you need to be in the playoffs, and that's what they have. And also they have T.Y. Hilton, so I can't pick against the Cowboys. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win this game, and they will go on to the divisional round and face the Minnesota Vikings. So just to recap, on the NFC side of things, I would have the Seahawks upsetting the 49ers, the Vikings beating the Giants, and then the Cowboys beating the Buccaneers. And you already got my AFC recap. But the divisional games next week, if my predictions come true, would be on the AFC side of things. The Bills taking on the Bengals in Buffalo, and then the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars in Kansas City. And then on the NFC side of things, it'd be the Vikings hosting a divisional game against the Cowboys, a 3-5 matchup, and then it would be the Eagles taking on the Seahawks in the other game. So the Eagles would be hosting, of course, because they're the 1 seed. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm riding high with Seattle. Just keep a lookout for a vlog because I might be going to that Bengals game. Who knows, really? But that's besides the point. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on the bell notifications. And follow everything in the description box. The Colts are winning the Super Bowl next year. See you guys next time. Bye.